Hi everyone, my name is Heather Foch and I am the toner queen here at Quality Imaging Solutions, where we find creative ways to help businesses save money on their printer cartridge spend. As the end of the calendar year is upon us, and for many of you, the end of your fiscal Q1, I'd like to talk today about how sloppy indirect spend data is costing you a ton of money without you likely even realizing it. More than ever before, we are in an age where procurement professionals rely on high-quality spend data to provide cost savings via cost reduction or outright cost avoidance. Without clean, high-quality data, it would be hard-pressed to say that any procurement organization could effectively and successfully achieve anything except small wins. Clean data is the driving force for all high-performing decision makers, and yet the seemingly simple idea is continuously brought up in various CPO surveys year over year as being critical, and at the same time, not yet achieved. In Deloitte's 2021 CPO survey, over 75% of those polled stated that reducing cost was a top priority to them. So I ask, if it is so important, why isn't clean data more of a priority? It's nearly impossible to have anything but a bird's eye view of your spend if the quality of your spend data is poor. So, wave goodbye to savings and digital transformation, and if you think your procurement org is agile without verifying first that your spend data is clean, your head is either in the clouds or it's in the sand. When it comes to indirect spend, that includes tail and dark spend, this is where I see dirty data spend the most prevalent. Likely because indirect spend isn't getting the attention it deserves, as it's not the categories directly tied to growth and revenue. And in the case of printer model selections usually made by IT, and printer cartridge model selections made by individual stakeholders at the time of purchase, spend for ink and toner essentially is a reactionary task that quickly gets out of control. For years, big box stores have provided a generic one-size-fits-all approach to office supply spend, and because printer cartridge supplies are not always viewed as a managed category, this is where spend gets out of control, causing any proposed savings to fly out the window. Largely, printer cartridge supplies are seen as a commodity to simply reduce spend on, but in reality, it is a category that is ripe for more strategic decisions to be made to not just reduce cost, but tied together with printer model selection can also result in long-term cost avoidance too. For example, HP, Dell, and Lexmark for years have produced monochrome printer families where the base model has a smaller physical footprint than the other models in the family with more bells and whistles. They sell those base model entry-level printers pretty cheap, without their customers knowing that the only toner model available for that printer is a standard low-yield cartridge that comes with a higher cost per page. Had the customer stepped up to the next model in the printer family, they would have been able to utilize higher yield toner cartridges instead that help keep their supply costs down more over time. But these manufacturers and their dealers don't want customers to know that if you spent a little more on the printer model, that over time you would save thousands of dollars over the life of that printer on its cartridges. I also see issues when reviewing spend data from prospective companies or government agencies where a ton of standard low-yield cartridges are being ordered by their stakeholders, and there's really no oversight at all with that spend. It's completely baffling why this happens when there are higher yield cartridge and more cost-effective cartridge models available that would save them literally hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. With more and more large and mega-sized companies publicly announcing their sustainability, diversity, and spend reduction goals, making sure your daily indirect dollars for printer cartridge supplies are being spent more thoughtfully is an easy step in the right direction and can help your organization not just reduce costs, but in the long term, provide year-over-year cost avoidance savings. Another question begs an answer. What are organizations doing with their old printers that they take out of service? You'd be surprised to find out how many give their old printer hardware to recycling companies for free, to be dismantled, or outright send them to landfills to be recycled, rather than utilizing a buyback program with an existing supplier to make money on those old units. It's a revenue stream not traditionally considered, but it should be, as it could help cover roughly 30 to 40% of the cost of the new printer that replaced the old one. In most cases, when I'm engaged with a company and I see that their IT and procurement teams are not really aligned, this is where the most lost opportunities are found to drastically improve how they purchase their printer hardware and the resulting purchases for their printer cartridge supplies. As always, thank you for watching. I hope you have found this video helpful. If you are interested in receiving more info about this topic, feel free to drop us a comment on our website, www.qualityimagingsolutions.com. Please make sure to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, as well as hit the notification button so you're made aware of when new content is posted. My name is Heather Foch, and I am the Toner Queen. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.